The high-pitched sound of a champagne flute hitting crystal was the only warning. "Excuse me?" Victoria Whitmore's voice was sharp. It cut through the loud, happy chatter like ice against glass. "I don't recall seeing your name on our guest list." The young woman in the simple, elegant black dress met Victoria's eyes without blinking. Around them, Manhattan's rich elite turned to watch. They held expensive drinks and their phone cameras lifted secretly. "Perhaps you should check again," Dr. Kesha Washington said quietly. She adjusted her simple black clutch bag. "No mistake." Catherine Whitmore stepped beside her daughter. Her pearl necklace gleamed under the chandeliers. "The help should know their place." Marcus Whitmore Jr. laughed quietly. He was already filming for his Instagram story. "Dad, security." James Whitmore Sr. nodded toward the two guards walking toward them. His expensive Rolex watch shone in the chandelier light. The Whitmore family stood in a half circle. Their shared look of hate was strong and clear. Kesha checked her diamond PC Philippi watch. It was exactly 8:47 p.m. She felt a familiar, quiet power. Had anyone ever underestimated her so much that they could not see the power she held right in front of them? The Meridian Club's penthouse gleamed. This place was built with old, inherited money. Crystal chandeliers threw small rainbow lights across the marble floors. Tonight's charity gala was for the Whitmore Foundation. It had brought together the most powerful families in New York. The two security guards in black suits came closer. Their hidden earpieces made soft, crackling sounds. "Ma'am, we need to see your invitation," the taller guard said. His hand rested on his radio. Kesha reached into her clutch bag with trained calm. The circle of curious onlookers grew wider. Someone whispered behind a champagne flute, "World star hip-hop drama." Victoria murmured loudly enough for the growing crowd to hear, "Oh, this should be good." A woman in expensive glasses held her phone higher. Her Instagram live feed showed 847 viewers and rising fast. The comments moved quickly. "Karen alert" and "Get her, sis" mixed with less kind messages. Kesha slowly held out a cream-colored card with gold writing. The guard took it. He looked at it closely, frowning. "This appears to be legitimate." "Appears?" Catherine's laugh was high and sharp like breaking glass. "James, darling, didn't the club update its security rules?" James Sr. straightened his bow tie. His voice carried the authority of decades in the boardroom. "Sometimes invitations get lost or photocopied." The accusation hung heavily in the air. Several guests nodded, pretending to understand. Marcus Jr.'s phone captured every angle. His followers were loving this drama. 12,000 views in 3 minutes. "Content gold," he muttered to himself. "I can verify the invitation's authenticity," Kesha said quietly. "How exactly?" Victoria crossed her arms. "Do you have papers, letters from board members who sponsored your attendance?" The crowd pressed closer. This was not just fun anymore. It was a public judgment. Dr. Elizabeth Carter, a famous surgeon, stepped forward. "Victoria, perhaps we should—" "Dr. Carter, with all due respect," Catherine interrupted, "we have rules for a reason. The Foundation's reputation depends on keeping certain standards." The hidden meaning was clear to everyone. Several guests exchanged uncomfortable looks, but no one helped. A server carrying a tray of champagne glasses stumbled slightly. The glasses rattled, jostling Kesha's arm. She quickly regained her balance. But the slight movement made her clutch shift. A small, simple business card fell onto the marble floor. Marcus Jr. zoomed in with his phone camera. As the guard picked it up, "Washington Capital Management," he read aloud. He paused, his expression changing slightly. "Never heard of it," Victoria said immediately. "Probably some small firm trying to network above their level." The live stream comments exploded with new messages. Someone typed, "Washington Capital is a $50 billion hedge fund, dummy." But the Whitmore family did not see the digital crowd turning against them. "Ma'am, we need to see your invitation," the other guard suggested. "We can sort this out privately." Privately? Kesha's voice remained even, but something in her tone made the guard stop. James Sr. checked his PC Philippi watch again. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have an announcement in precisely 14 minutes. Perhaps we could hurry this situation? The announcement was the Whitmore Foundation's most important moment. They were revealing their new partner for a huge educational project, a $1.2 billion commitment that would make their family legacy permanent. Of course, Catherine added sweetly, we can't have disruptions during such an important evening. The Bloomberg reporter in the corner looked up from his phone, suddenly interested. He recognized the business card the guard was still holding. Kesha noticed his change in expression. A small smile touched her lips. It was the first small break in her calm face. I understand your position, she said to James Sr. Time is valuable, especially when millions of dollars are at stake. Exactly, he nodded, pleased. I'm glad you understand the significance of this evening. He missed the irony completely. Victoria pointed toward the service elevators. The main elevators are reserved for our guests tonight. I'm sure you understand. This was the final planned insult. In front of 200 of New York's wealthiest people, they were telling her to use the servants' exit. The Instagram live viewer count hit 15,000. Comments poured in too fast to read. The hashtag Whitmore Gala started to trend in New York. But inside this bubble of marble and crystal, the family had no idea about the digital storm. Marcus Jr. added a caption to her story. When networking goes wrong, Dad maintains standards. The Bloomberg reporter quietly opened his laptop. His fingers weighted over the keyboard as he watched Kesha's reaction. She took one step toward the service elevators, then stopped. Her phone buzzed. A text message made her expression shift slightly. Actually, she said, turning back to face the family, I think I'll wait for the main elevators. Excuse me. Victoria's voice rose even higher. I said I'll wait. Kesha's tone remained conversational, but there was steel in the words. I have some calls to make while we sort this out. She pulled her phone from her clutch. The screen showed 3 missed calls from Meridian Industries board members. The Bloomberg reporter's eyes widened. He knew that name. He knew exactly what it meant for tonight's announcement. Ma'am, the guard said, unsure. We really need to... 13 minutes, Kesha said softly, glancing at her watch. Isn't that what you said, Mr. Whitmore? 13 minutes until your announcement? James Sr. nodded impatiently. Yes, and we can't... Perfect. She dialed a number with slow, careful movement. The phone rang once, then twice. Hello, Marcus. Yes, I know you're in the middle of prep, but we need to discuss the Meridian partnership. The color drained from James Sr.'s face. Marcus Jr. stopped filming. Victoria's champagne glass slipped from her fingers, but she caught it. Only Catherine had not understood yet. Who is she talking to? She whispered. The Bloomberg reporter started typing very fast. His article was already forming in his mind. Whitmore Gala becomes public relations nightmare. 10 minutes, announced the event coordinator through her headset. 10 minutes to the Meridian announcement. James Sr.'s hand trembled as he adjusted his expensive cufflinks. Perhaps we should postpone. No postponement necessary, Kesha said, ending her call. She slid the phone back into her clutch with slow, careful calm. The security guards looked at each other. The taller one whispered into his radio. Control, we might need the club manager. Dr. Elizabeth Carter pushed through the crowd. Victoria, I really think... Elizabeth, please, Catherine's voice was sharp. This is a family matter now. Family matter? Kesha tilted her head slightly. Interesting choice of words, Mrs. Whitmore. The way she said the name, with careful sound and subtle focus, sent a chill through the room. This was not someone guessing at social rules. This was someone who knew exactly who they were dealing with. Marcus Jr.'s phone pinged constantly. His Instagram story had been shared 847 times in the last 5 minutes. Someone tagged TMZ. Another person shared it to TikTok. The hashtag #WitWitRacist was starting to trend. Ma'am, the security guard tried again. We really need to resolve this situation. Resolution? Kesha nodded thoughtfully. Yes, that's exactly what we need, Mr. Whitmore.
What would you say your company's annual revenue was last quarter? The question hung in the air like a loaded gun. I beg your pardon? James Sr.'s voice cracked slightly. Your revenue. Whitmore Industries. Q3 2024. Approximately $847 million, if memory serves. The number was exact. Too exact for someone who should not know it. Victoria's face paled. How could you possibly... Public filings, Kesha said simply. SEC documents are quite informative. David Kim stopped typing. He knew those filings by heart. The number was correct to the dollar. 9 minutes, announced the coordinator. The crowd pressed closer. What started as simple entertainment had become something else entirely. The energy in the room shifted from amusement to expectation, to a feeling close to fear. A waiter carrying champagne glasses stumbled slightly. The glasses rattled, but the crystal glasses sat untouched on silver trays. I don't understand what you're implying, Catherine said, but her voice shook. I'm not implying anything. I'm simply stating facts.